Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy for some, not for others. This story, I've been following it, and not happy. I have a personal 171 people in here, 40 seconds in. Thanks for being here. It's been a couple months since I've been live. I've really been saving these live streams for something that is truly shock and no awe to it. And we found this story auditing Mabton. It was sent to me, and boy, do we have an update for you. Before we get to the update and to give you this information that we've come across that is egregious and sad and illegal, to say the very least, I'm going to play you guys a trailer for why we got here. Okay, while this trailer is playing, I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you remember this video, if you're aware of this case too, if it's your first time watching it. If it is, that's part of the reason we play this, to kind of keep you up to speed. So let's jump in and get up to speed here.
I'll tell you right now, if you impede my investigation, I will arrest you, okay? Okay.
I got permission from her. Well, I got permission from her.
Get the she doesn't want you here.
I don't care. I'm leaving. Hey, what you gonna do, huh?
I just want you to be
Look,
safe.
I'm saying, look.
You're not free to leave. You're on a traffic stop.
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
Yes, you're being
I
detained.
wasn't driving.
Yes, you were.
I wasn't.
saw you driving
When?
this vehicle.
When?
Around.
When was I driving?
Okay. Give me your license.
When was I
registration,
driving?
insurance.
When was I driving?
You were
Get your
driving.
supervisor here. Get your supervisor here.
License, registration,
I wasn't driving.
Or you're under arrest.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You're gonna threaten me to arrest me?
Yep, you're
On a traffic? Wow.
Okay, do you have any weapons inside the vehicle?
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Okay, you're lying to me?
No, why would
Okay.
I lie to you?
License, registration, insurance.
Let me go get it.
Okay,
So you get
go for it.
the cam back. You know,
I
that's
got you.
the
I got you
professional
on
way.
right now.
So yeah, man, why you got that protection order?
Well, how about you post your videos that happen?
What happened to the protection order? What happened to that? But why you did it though?
Why what?
Why you
I
put a
did what?
protection order?
Because
Why?
of you.
Because of me?
Yeah.
Because I'm following you while you're on duty, making sure you're doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is completely legal, right?
No.
It's not legal for me to follow you from a safe distance.
Let me ask you this. Why did you follow me?
I don't answer questions.
Why?
I ask you the questions, all right? You work for me, all right? I don't work for you, buddy.
It's really crazy, right? So they initiate a traffic stop. This is how stupid, guys, this cop is at home. The first cop I've ever seen initiate a traffic stop while he's on foot, and the person he's initiating the traffic stop is also on foot. I just want to make sure I understand this. So you're telling me that not once, but twice, the Mabton Police Department, while not in the vehicles, they're on foot, pulled you over for a traffic stop while you were also on foot and not in the vehicle.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most unhinged cop you will ever see in your entire life. This is Officer Sullivan of the Mabton Police Department in Mabton in Washington State. And the video comes from a channel named Auditing Mabton. And this just isn't a video, it's a saga. And it starts at Mabton City Hall. Auditing Mabton goes in to film and to do a records request. And without even alleging that he's committed a crime, he's trespassed from the building. Several days later, he's cop watching, and that brings us to this video. And in enters Officer Sullivan. And at the very sight of Auditing Mabton, the first thing he does is threaten arrest. He lets loose an unhinged bootlicker on him, threatens to arrest him, and then initiates a traffic stop, while both the officer and Auditing Mabton are on foot, neither one driving a vehicle, neither one in a vehicle, and neither one coming from a vehicle. But the story gets weirder after that. Officer Sullivan, then files for a temporary protection order or restraining order against Auditing Mabton. Yakima County District Court of Washington, County of Yakima, Ryan Sullivan versus Christopher Vargas. A petition for protection for stalking. Christopher in a prior incident stating he would follow me. The case lists out actions Christopher took while following me. Christopher followed me and a ride-along I had him to a restaurant, recording us and antagonizing us. When I left, he followed me to the police station. When I entered the station, he began ringing the doorbell constantly. When I left the police station, he followed my patrol car for approximately 40 minutes. He then followed me to a DV call where he obstructed my investigation and caused me to be assaulted. After that incident, he made a police report against me for false allegations. I was out of town, that's why I didn't file earlier. This is wild. The video is super clear. Auditing Mabden did not cause Officer Sullivan to be assaulted. Officer Sullivan's mentally decrepit brain, zero training, and huge vagina caused him to be assaulted because he couldn't do his job. He then violated a citizen's First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. The citizen duly goes down and files a complaint and a police report against this cop. When the cop realized he was in hot water, then he filed a report in retaliation against the journalist. Not because he was out of town, but because he got caught. This is one of those cops that must have got bullied in high school. Wait. Christopher followed me to a gas station outside of Mabden and waited for me at my car. When I came out, he told me he understood why that kid said what he said, in reference to a story I previously told Christopher from when I was in high school and I was assaulted, and the assaulter threatened me. And suddenly, this bizarre scenario is all starting to make sense. Officer Sullivan of the Mabden PD was bullied in high school. And now an innocent journalist and veteran of the Army has to pay for that bullying. Because that's what cops who were bullied in high school do. Instead of being better than their bullies, they become their bullies. And how did this cop report to the court that he knew Auditing Mabden, or how he met him? He's a stranger who I have met through work. So Officer Sullivan is negligent. His negligence caused bodily injury to himself and to the public. His lack of training and supervision led to him violating the First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment right of a citizen engaged in a legal and constitutionally protected activity. A traffic stop was initiated without either the police officer or the pedestrian ever entering a vehicle. The violations against the citizens were reported. And because this unhinged Looney Tune cop was picked on in high school, he files a protection order against the cameraman, a protection order that's refused by the court. And he says it's all just a stranger he met through work. If you're a barista at Starbucks and the same creepy guy keeps coming in every day, to the point where you need a restraining order, that's the box where you write, a stranger I met through work. When you're a cop and you violate the hell out of someone's rights over and over on a consistent basis, you're armed with a taser, bulletproof vest, sidearm, AR-15 in your vehicle, mace, and you're scared of an unarmed vet with a camera. That just doesn't fly. We the people aren't buying it. Stay tuned to the end of the video as we sit down and have a discussion with Auditing Mabden, and he gives us an update as to where things stand right now. Let's jump in the video.
Certified. The chief as well needs to be fired and decertified.
The stream ends here. Auditing Mabden gets a knock at the door. He goes to answer it, and I continue about my work on this video. I send him a text asking for a copy of the arrest reports and the restraining order. And I get this text back. I'll call you in a bit, putting the kids to bed. I was just served a protection order by a deputy for Sullivan. You got that right. He's pulled over twice when neither he nor the cops are in a vehicle. His rights are violated. Police are directing citizens to attack him. He's being trespassed from City Hall without committing a crime just for getting a records request. The cop files a restraining order against him and loses. And when that doesn't work, he files for another one, literally while we're filming a video about the injustice he's suffered at the hands of police. It doesn't seem like Mabden is going to stop anytime soon.
All right, guys. So that's where we left it. And the interesting part was cop files for a restraining order. The judge shuts the restraining order down. I mean, how ironic is it that we're literally doing a video about how corrupt this police department is, and I have to cut my interview short because he has to go to the door and get another temporary restraining order, again, from the same cop. You need to put a name to a face, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Auditing Mabden. Hey, bud.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And folks, you've seen Auditing Mabden through the lens of an activist, through the lens of someone who's fighting for freedom. His fight did not start here. What makes him a serious victim is his past that led him to his activism. So I made a little something, and there's going to be no monetization in this stream, but that's not why we're here. So I want to put this up, and I want to show you his origin story. What made him special? What made him have every right to continue to fight for our rights? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Auditing Mabden's origin story.
We were kings, which raised a dirt floor poor. Of course, that was back before the war. Yeah, your uncle and I made quite a pair, flying F-15s through hostile air. He went down, but they missed me by. He'd always stop right there and say, "That's something to be proud of. That's a life you can hang your hat on. That's a chin held high, the tear fall down. But some kid just stuck out like a small town flag flying, or a newborn baby crying in the arms of the woman that you love. That's something to be proud of." Dad, I wonder if I ever let you down. If you were ashamed how I turned out. Well, he lowered his voice, then he raised his brow. Said, "Let me tell you right now. That's something to be proud of. That's a life you can hang your hat on. You don't need to beg a million. Just be thankful to be working. If you're doing what you're able, putting food there on the table. Everybody for the family that you love. That's something to be proud of. Ain't this all you ever really do is the best you can. Well, you did it, man.
So that's his origin story. Faithfully served and executed his duties in defense of the Constitution of these United States of America. He served as an infantryman. He served as military police. He was honorably discharged and given early retirement because of his service to this country. A service, now we all have the right to exhibit our freedoms, to be protected under this beautiful Constitution. I always say that someone who put their life on the line to defend that Constitution has just as much of a right as anybody else to execute those freedoms. And before we give you the update to where we are now, Auditing Mabden, I saw that you were, in fact, a military police officer. You got certified as a certified corrections officer. Thank you, John Wesley, for the 5 gifted memberships. You're certified to become a cop in Washington, should you want. How come you didn't go from police in the military to police now?
Well, the thing is this, just think about it. If I was to be a cop or correction officer here in Washington or anywhere of that nature, it would be me following orders. It don't matter if they're against policies or people like giving orders. And basically, if you're in that position, you need to follow the orders. And if you need to violate someone's rights, that's how it is. And then in order to get over, you need to know how to document. And pretty much I would be on the other side of the shoe, and I would be the one violating rights. And I'm not about that. And when I was in the military, I saw my fair share. I don't really want to get into that, but yeah, I knew that as soon as I got out of the military, I wanted to lead a straight path, be there for my family, do the right thing, and just continue being a law-abiding citizen.
So you're saying that you could have a solid job with excellent benefits and really no consequences if you were ever to do anything wrong. You gave that up because you didn't want to be this cop. You didn't want someone releasing this kind of video about you. You had standards. You know, you had
That's
morals.
right. That's right. That's right.
So the end of this video, you get another restraining order. And in the restraining order, this police officer says he's very scared of auditing Mapton, specifically his military training. Now, I find it interesting. The police represent the government, one branch of the government. Now, the government had no problem providing him this training so he could go into the shit, put his life in the line, and defend our country. However, that same training that the government provided him to defend its interests then is the same training that they're using as a basis to try and gain a protection order against him. They also say that because of his aggressive style of guerrilla journalism, a restraining order is the only thing that would protect the person in the restraining order. Now, if I was so afraid of somebody that I needed the court to physically restrain them, I would be as far away from that person as possible. But if, in my estimation, I was like the officer in this case, and I was just trying to get someone arrested because they were putting me on blast for my illegal use of force, then I might do something like this. Doesn't seem like this cop is as scared as he lets on. Let's take a look at this.
2024 at approximately 7:20 p.m. Mapton PD Officer Ryan Sullivan, badge number 503, was patrolling and stopped right in front of my house in a police vehicle. Mind you, this police officer has a restraining order on me and arrested me last week for allegedly violating that restraining order. I did not violate any restraining order. In the restraining order, Sullivan specifically wrote down that I can make a police report or use police services since he is a police officer. Very weird. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section. Auditing Mapton. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for the support.
Thank you, Flying Auditor. Really appreciate that. And also, Let's OTVO. Absolutely. That'd be my pleasure. So can you explain to me, Auditing Mapton, what I'm seeing on the screen? Now, before you explain, what I feel like I'm seeing is somebody said the court needed to restrain you, and for their safety, you should never be within 150 feet of them. And then it looks like the same police officer that needed you 150 feet away is now literally driving in front of your house doing circles.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly what you see there.
How could that be true, though?
Honestly, baiting. That's the only thing I could come up with. Baiting. He's trying to bait me. He did it before at the gas station. He's trying to do it now. I was with my family. You could hear my daughter in the background saying, "Daddy, I want ice cream. Daddy, I want ice cream." And I was so in shock that this guy was in front of my house, this police officer with a protection order, that I couldn't even really respond to my daughter because I'm over here worried about what's going to be the next move this man is going to make. Is he going to get out of his vehicle? Is he going to shoot me? What the hell is he doing parked across my street in the middle of the road? And then, yeah, I'm going to record it. And in the protection order, it says I can't record it. But I'm on my property. I have security cameras. So even if I didn't record it with my phone, my security cam is going to catch it, which is exactly what you see here in this image. I got the image.
That's interesting. Now, you were able to document how a police officer was abusing you, allegedly. Because of that documentation, an original protection order was turned down and laughed at by the court. So now you get this new restraining order, and we're going to go into it, what leads up to that. But now you're not allowed to film. They get the order. You're not. It's a different judge. You're not allowed to film. So the only thing that kept you alive and safe before was your ability to record and redress your grievances is protected under the First Amendment. That was a problem for Mapton because it started putting them on blast and it showed the nation just how dirty they were. But there was a solution to that. If he can't record us doing what we were doing, now we can violate, and who's the wiser? Apparently the investigatory skills of this PD weren't so hot because they didn't bother to realize that he had security cameras that were going to document them doing exactly that. They're weaponizing the First Amendment in order to restrict and eliminate his First Amendment rights without even needing to claim qualified immunity. And now they're weaponizing a civil protective order to trump up charges and convert that civil order into a criminal complaint, all to stop one veteran who once wore the same badge as them from stopping to engage in his constitutional rights. The government will stop at nothing to, put its tyranny on other people. So there's 2 arrests here. I'm going to show you the first arrest. The second arrest I found interesting. I get a call from auditing Mapton. I couldn't answer. I was with family. I got a couple more calls, and then I started saying to myself, this could be an emergency. I answer the phone. The first thing he does is very calm. Thank you, Josh, for picking up the phone. And I can hear some smashing. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, oh, they're just breaking in my window right now. They're going to arrest me. And I was like, well, why aren't you filming? Why aren't you on the phone? I'm not allowed to film them. So picture this. A veteran who fought for his and all of our rights to engage in free press and free speech is being assaulted and having his window documented. He can't document police in the capacity of their duties. Those duties are assaulting him. So he's on the phone with me, and I'm listening to all this play out. The smashing of the window, the dragging him out of the car. I mean, this is that serious. That was the second of the back-to-back arrests. The first one, lead us into this. You get a letter in the mail or something. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm doing my typical errands, go to the post office, grab my mail, and then I looked at my mail and I see that there's a letter from the police department. I thought that was strange. I had no idea what it was, honestly. I really had no idea what it was. But I did know that I do not want any paperwork from them. If they need to serve me, they can serve me the legal way, the proper way, And there's ways to do that, but it's definitely not the way that they're doing it. So
he gets a letter, and just keep in mind, folks, he was illegally trespassed from City Hall. They never alleged in the police report that he had committed any crime at all. They just said City Hall is private property owned by the county and the municipality, and they didn't want him there. That's it. It wasn't he was being loud, he was disrupting business, he was disorderly. They just didn't want him there with the camera. So that leads to this letter being sent. Let's jump into the video so you guys can see how that went down, because now auditing Mapton gets this letter and he's like, I don't want this letter. I'm going to go return it to the police. So let's see what happens here.
What's up, everybody? Just got a letter in the mail from the police. Mail.
Now, I want you to keep an eye on this part. It's going to be important. He got the letter from his post office box. He has not opened it. He simply does not want it. He's going to physically return it to the sender the way that he received it, sealed.
I'm going to give it back to the chief. I see him across the street. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go give it to him. And put my Crocs on 4-wheel drive. Put my Crocs on 4-wheel drive. All right, let me put this down while I drive. I'm giving the chief of police, see him right there in here. We'll give him my mail. I don't want no mail from this guy. You see this? I'm not under arrest. You see this? This is gonna be yours. I don't want nothing from you guys.
Now here's the interesting part about this whole thing. The chief couldn't wait. You're under arrest for trespassing. Now the trespass notice was in Auditing Mapton's hand. That's what he received in the mail, unopened. So the chief of police sees this, and there's no way he can actually effect an arrest because someone has to be duly notified of the trespass, and then receive it in writing. It's clear that he didn't, and that's the reason when you get trespassed, you get trespassed in person. If you don't get trespassed in person at the actual facility, you get proof of service. You have to sign. A police officer has to bring it to you on body cam so that they can prove effectually that a trespass had taken place and a notice had been effectively served. They threw it in his post office box. It's not out in the front of his house, so he's not going down there every day to check it. So they're hoping that he doesn't see this thing, and then maybe he goes back onto the property, which is going to lead us back to where we are now. He's being arrested because he trespassed while he was returning the unopened trespass.
Nothing from you guys, okay? The Yakima Sheriff is coming over here. Yeah, I'm under arrest. Yep. For what? For what? You hit my car. You hit my car. You hit my car. I am not under arrest. I am not under arrest. I'm not under arrest. I'm not under arrest. For what? For what am I under arrest for? 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 Trespassing. I never got a trespass notice. When did I get a trespass notice? When?
So look at the stupid look on that cop's face. And now Auditing Mapton saying, when did I get a trespass notice? Because that's what he just returned to the chief. So with no probable cause, no reasonable articulable suspicion, no proof that a crime has committed, is currently in the commission of being committed, or is about to be committed, one police officer engages in reckless driving and strikes Auditing Mapton with his vehicle. So Auditing Mapton can't escape for the crime of which he never committed. And now the cop's starting to realize, he might not be realizing it, he might just be stupid and have no idea because English is and common sense is a foreign language. I don't know. But that's where I think that's really interesting. So at this point, are you like super confused?
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is going on over here? You know, I'm like, I went to go bring back the mail and now I'm getting arrested, you know? So yeah, I just had to ride the wave.
I want to make sure that I'm accurate. You have now been ticketed twice on a traffic stop while neither you or the police officer were in the vehicle. You've been arrested now for not checking your mail, and you've been arrested for committing no crime. Literally, that's what they said. He committed no crime. He was filming a records request. So these are all things that have happened to you in the past month.
Yes. Yeah.
I wish I had your luck. I have way more videos. Jesus, arrested. These are like one-off videos that I get like twice a year. Arrested for checking his mail. Arrested for going outside. This guy is just like, yeah, arrested for, and then there's a blank space, and he just kind of fills it in at the end of the day.
That's right. That's right, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So let's get back to this this video, and I'm gonna read all the super thanks, super chats at the end. Let's check it out. The stupidity it's just wonderful, really. It's like watching a good movie with bad actors.
When did I get a trespass notice? When did I get a trespass notice? Answer the question. When did I get a trespass notice? When did I get a trespass notice? When? Nope, he did not tell me. Nope, he did not tell me. Nope, I didn't get a trespass notice.
So listen to this part, folks, which is just really, really interesting. So the cop saying, oh, he told you about the trespass. If they told him about the trespass, they wouldn't have mailed him a trespass notice. So now they're trying to make it up as they go along. So hopefully they can keep him in jail just for at least a few hours.
I didn't get a trespass notice. 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 I did not get a trespass notice. I'm not under arrest. Nope. Nope. I didn't get a trespass notice. I didn't get a trespass notice. What am I under arrest for? For trespassing?
Multiple things.
Yeah, you just said trespassing. Now it's multiple things? What? Like what?
Disorderly conduct from yesterday.
Oh,
Oh
yesterday.
my God.
How? Exactly how? Exactly how? Exactly how? No, it's not. No. No. No.
Now they're grasping for straws.
So now they're saying he was disorderly, and that's referring to the video where he shows up and he starts filming. And then the cop sends this person to attack him. So I want you to understand. I'm going to show you how he was disorderly. I think it's only fair. Auditing Mabton, I'm sorry to do this to you. I know that we did consider each other to be friends, but now it comes a time where I have to expose you. I hope that we can still be friends after I expose you.
No problem.
Okay, so I'm going to commence my exposing you right now. Ladies and
Right.
gentlemen, auditing Mabton was disorderly. Very disorderly. And I'm going to show you how he was disorderly right now, okay? So what happens is there's a guy filming, and he's talking to the cop, and he chases after the guy filming. He tries to attack him, and just actually wait, that was the person that attacked auditing Mabton. Maybe this isn't making sense. I guess we'll just see how he was disorderly. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how auditing Mabton is being exposed as being disorderly. Here he is.
I'll tell you right now, if you impede my investigation, I will arrest you, okay? Okay.
I got permission from her.
Doing an investigation.
Well, I got permission from her.
Get the
She doesn't even want you here.
I don't care. I'm leaving. Hey, what you gonna do, huh?
I just want you to be
Look,
safe.
I'm saying, look.
You're not free to leave. You're on a traffic stop. If you
Am I
want,
being
you're
detained?
looting.
Am I being detained?
So that was auditing Mabton being disorderly. He was engaging in a constitutionally protected activity. At one point, he was on private property, and he got permission from the property owner to stand on that private property. And while he silently observed, he was attacked twice and then had an unlawful traffic stop with no moving vehicles initiated onto him. So that was him being disorderly. So now they're throwing, and he had never been charged with that. The first mention of him ever getting any sort of charge of disorderly was right now in this video, because the cop's like, oops, maybe we didn't actually serve him. We just rammed his car for no reason, and we just shredded his Fourth Amendment right. So maybe that thing that happened the other day when he was a victim, maybe we can just call him a suspect now. Maybe that will help us. So with that understanding, let's go back to where we were here with the cops, just cops-plaining.
No.
Yeah, so my name is Deputy Cagle, badge number 99. Okay?
Thank you, deputy.
So like I said, man, we weren't a part of any of this interaction, okay? We were called here for support, okay, for Mabton. What I'll tell you is, man, is they're telling me that they have probable cause for your arrest, okay? That's something that I can't change as a deputy, right? I'm called here just to talk to you, right, and see if we can't get...
Actually, that's something that deputy can change. One department that is a separate department, a separate jurisdiction from theirs, say, hey, we have probable cause for arrest. Then the reaction of the sheriff's deputies are, okay, arrest him. Arrest him. This passes the buck, because now they've already gone so far as to destroy his constitutional rights. Affecting that arrest themselves, that causes even more problems. So they're going to have another agency come in and do their dirty work. However, they are not intelligent whatsoever. When he gets out of the car, the chief tells him he's under arrest. So he was already legally placed under arrest by spoken word. So let's go back to this guy cops-plaining for the other cops that aren't as good as cops-plaining.
Get something figured out, right? My end goal here is I want this to end as peacefully and as easily for all parties, especially you, as possible. Would you agree with that?
Yes,
that sounds like a good. Okay, so I can't stop what Mapton's going to do, right? Because I wasn't here.
Aren't you guys over these people technically because you guys are sheriffs
So
and deputies?
It's kind of an intricate deal as to how that works, but we don't have the right? If they're telling me they have probable cause for your arrest, like I can't just legally come in here and say no, they don't, right?
I'm here.
So it's not intricate. Mabton has police jurisdiction over any crime that takes place in Mabton. Yakima County sheriffs are kind of the equivalent of the state police for the county. They are the ultimate authority. They have jurisdiction in all the towns that fall under the precedence of its jurisdiction. One of those being Mabton. So if Mabton police respond to a call and then a Yakima County sheriff's deputy responds to a call, the Yakima County Sheriff's Department has supervisory seniority. So that means they own the stop. They get to decide what does and what doesn't happen. There's nothing intricate about it. All they're doing right now is they're wanting to join the party. They said there's a litigation party and they felt left out and they wanted to join because they didn't want Mabton to be the only ones getting sued.
I'm hearing you, deputy.
Yeah, no, man, you're good. So here's what I'll tell you, Christopher.
Yes.
I want to give you some options here, right?
Yes, I want to hear the options.
So at this point, right? So like I had said, I can't stop, right? If Mapton says they have probable cause for your arrest, that's not something that me or Sergeant Hubbard.
No, I understand.
Can refute,
I understand.
Right? But my goal here is to kind of work with you and get some of your needs met. That way we can all reach a.
Now, what they're doing is very important, and most of you wouldn't pick it up. I picked it up as soon as I watched it. What's taking place now is what normally takes place during hostage negotiations. They send somebody in and they say, listen, I can't change what's happening, but it's our job to talk you off the ledge. So you tell me what some of your demands are, and we will try and meet those demands so this ends safely and no one gets hurt. They want to use this later for the court. How damning is it to a jury when it appears as if the local police couldn't even handle it? The sheriffs had to come in and then begin negotiation tactics. First of all, this man is a product of our United States military. He served and discharged the duties of his office faithfully. Okay, it is the policy of the United States to never negotiate with terrorists. And they might not be foreign, but they sure look fucking domestic to me. That's number one. Number two, we're not going to try and gaslight him because you have no case. But that's what's going to continue to happen here.
A common end goal, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
So sort of like you were saying, man, you already have complaints, right?
Yes, they're under investigation.
This is an unlawful arrest.
It is an unlawful
This
arrest.
only builds your case.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
If they're good to go, then it is what it is, right? That's going to be up to Washington State Criminal Justice Training.
Yes, yes, correct.
So what I will tell you here today is if you have a case against these guys,
yes,
and if you truly believe, right, that they're in the wrong,
yes, sir, they are
complying with what they want and going through the process, making it smooth, only makes your case stronger.
Yes, and
So listen to the logic here, and that's cop logic. You're saying they did something wrong to you, and they may have done something wrong to you. So in order for your case to be strong, you have to do whatever they say so they can continue to do something wrong to you. That's like if you're in school and someone's beating you up and you tell the teacher and they're like, oh, well, you know, you're continuing to build your case. This is good. Keep letting that guy's fist run right into your face, because every time he punches you in the face and we don't do anything about it, you're making your case stronger that he's a bully. Then auditing Mapton gets called to the principal's office because his hand's swollen and the bully fucked around and found out. And now they're saying, Chris, I mean, we talked about this. You were supposed to continue letting them build the thing, and you had a case and you were going to build it, and it's hard to build it if your face isn't running into his fist. And then you made the mistake of fighting back. I mean, why'd you fuck this whole thing up, Chris? And then he's sitting there like that. Like, what kind of fucking stupidity am I dealing with on this massive of a level? That is the cop logic at play in effect right now. And auditing Mapton is just kind of sitting there like, I got to tell you one thing. They were smashing his window in, and he was like laughing. He's like, oh, yep, well, there it goes. I guess I'm getting arrested. And then we'll get to that part of the story later, because it was oh, I got a text message from auditing Erie County. It looks like I'm not checking my messages here. He says check my text messages. I did. I don't have a text. I don't have no text messages. Auditing Erie County is crazy. I mean, I don't think I do. No, I don't. Send me another one. Okay, back to this wonderful video that's going to get an Oscar.
Want to apply,
Okay, perfect.
but I wanted it to do it under the right circumstances, which is why I appreciate that you guys are here, because this needs the transparency, documentation, body cams, microphones. And I love it. I like that you guys are here, because these guys over here, you see, Matson PD, no good. They have no body cams, as you can see, no dash cams, no cams in the back cab. So they can do whatever the hell they want to do, honestly. And the chief sexually assaulted me last year. That's why he's under investigation. And then Sullivan, the other guy, he's under investigation for groping an 11-year-old female.
Okay, you are under arrest. Plain and simple.
This is crazy.
This cop sexually assaulted me and did the same thing to somebody else, and now he's literally under an investigation for it. Listen, you're under arrest. Okay? You committed yourself a crime. You see? Don't forget about those terrible things that he did. You threw a fit when you ran into his face that last time, and I didn't like it. That's what we're doing here. Okay, that makes sense. I just wanted to make sure I understood how much sense this made. But okay, cool.
Can you tell me for what though?
For criminal trespassing and obstruction right now.
Okay.
Okay. So any further efforts to not comply with our orders will also result in a resisting arrest charge.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't obstructed because they hadn't ordered him out of the vehicle yet. So, I mean, right now they're negotiating with him, treating him like a terrorist. But if they were like, oh, now we need your name and your ID, and now you have to get out of the car, then we're talking about one thing. That's not what's happened here. So he's now obstructing, although he hasn't obstructed. Now's the first time in 5 minutes and 38 seconds that they're even mentioning that he needs to exit the vehicle.
Okay, so what we are asking, one thing that I will do for you, because I do understand that you have ongoing issues with Mapton PD,
yes,
is if you will surrender to us, it will be myself and Deputy Cagle that handcuff you. We will make sure that you get your immediate medical attention, okay? And then we will even transport you to the jail where Mapton does their booking, okay? If you don't, and I'm just putting this out there, okay? I'm being 100% transparent with you. If you do not come out,
I'm going to come out.
We will be forced.
But I'm going to come out. I'm going to come out.
To use whatever force may be necessary to remove you from this car.
So how would you get a search? I'm just curious. I'm going to come out, but I'm just curious. No. I'm just curious. For documentation purposes. Okay. I'm going to come out. So don't worry. That's not an issue. How would you obtain a warrant to get me out if it was to go that route?
So we would call a judge
right now.
Tell the judge what the circumstances are. We would do what is called an affidavit for search warrant, which is an application. And if the judge finds that there's probable cause, he would then authorize us to remove you from this car to take you into custody with whatever means we deem necessary.
Okay.
And we don't want to do that.
No. I don't want to do that either.
Okay. Like, yes, they do.
He wants to do it.
they want to do that. I think there's a healthy fear in while they haven't done it already. You guys saw that intro video. I mean, this dude just wasn't in the military. He was about it. He was in some very exclusive armed branches of the military, and I don't think they want that smoke. I really that's my takeaway from it. Listen, I'm the type of guy that, if you come at me, I'm going down swinging, right? Like, I have not won every fight, but my attendance record is impeccable, right? I've showed up to everyone. His odds are probably quite a bit better than mine. I don't think Deputy Donut Fuck, necessarily wants to find out if it's going to take more than 10 seconds for him to be out of breath.
Either. But before I get out, right? In order to be arrested for trespass, right? How do you get what makes it probable cause to be arrested for trespass specifically?
So Mapton has told us this is their case as far as the criminal.
Yeah, but I just want to understand the arrest.
Has informed us that you have been formally trespassed from the property that you're on.
I was not.
Okay, so that's an issue for you to take up in court.
So this is what you call cops being your best witness, right? Because in the civil case, they're going to say you were trespassed and we don't want to investigate what the other agency did. We just told you that. We want to do no investigation. We have no choice. We're just going to arrest you because you trespassed and you were given notice of trespass. Now, meanwhile, the chief of police wrote the trespass notice. He's got it in his hand. He's not saying a damn word. He knows damn well that Auditing Mapton was never served with the trespass, and it was good as the paper was written on, but he was never served. So now he's so mad and really wants to stop Auditing Mapton from putting them on blast. He's willing to pull the other cops down into this whole mess with him.
But then I got to go to jail for.
But they're also saying that the chief is also telling us that you were given some paperwork that you have since handed back to him.
Yeah, I got some. Yeah,
is they've told us they have probable cause to arrest you.
Now, I want to be very, very clear. In addition, and by the way, 1,100 people in here. I haven't been live in almost 2 months. Thanks for being here and supporting my man. All right, it's important. But this is a real problem. So they're also arresting him for a violation of a restraining order, okay? Now, it's very important you understand that in the restraining order, the protection order, it specifically says that the only contact, because there's 3 cops in this police station. There's Chief Garcia, Sergeant Valero, is that his name?
Fierro,
and Officer Sullivan. There's only 3 cops. So there's such a limited number of police officers that what happens if Auditing Mapton is the victim of a crime? Should he not call 911? And if he does call 911 and Sullivan answers the phone and says, 911, please state your emergency. I'm the victim of a carjacking. Is it? Oh, wait. Auditing Mapton? Yeah. Actually, there's that whole restraining order thing. So I can't help you. He's about to shoot you. Well, my shift ends in about 5 minutes. Can you tell him to hold off till Viero comes in? Okay. Sorry, gotta go, Chris. That was funny. Like that's not how this works. They specifically wrote in the restraining order that Auditing Mapton's only contact with police can be for police business. So keep that in mind also. So we're going to kind of fast forward a little bit here till, this hostage team finally gets out of the car and does this to, what? Folks, put a 1 in the chat if you saw the musical montage I made for Auditing Mapton. Put a 2 if you didn't. Put a 2 if you didn't see that. Be quick about it. I'm giving you unlawful directives because it's fun.
You will surrender to us.
Oh, that's me. That's my live stream. I know that voice. I'm awesome. All right, so we got some 2s. All right, so I'm going to play this again, and I think it's very important. This stream has long been demonetized because of the stuff that has copyright, but I want to send a message, okay? So I'm going to put this up again because I think it's important and it's helpful in realizing who they're doing this to, okay? Has committed no crime. This is the face of the person that they're doing this to. So let me show you this. Evoke some emotion at home, okay? This is bullshit.
We were kings which raised dirt for a poor. Of course, that was back before the war. Yeah, your uncle and I made quite a pair, flying F-15s through hostile air. He went down, but they missed me by. He'd always stop right there and say, "That's something to be proud of. That's a life you can hang your hat on. That's a chin held high, the tear fall down. But some kid just stuck out like a small town flag flying, or a newborn baby crying in the arms of the woman that you love. That's something to fuel shame. How I turned out. Well, he loaded his bullets. Then he raised his brow. Said, let me tell you right now. That's something to be proud of. That's a life you can hang your hat on. No need to beg a million. Just be thankful to be working. If you're doing what you're able, put you there on the table. Everybody for the family that you love. That's something to be proud of. Anything you ever really do is the best you can. Well, you did it, man.
So this is the part of it that's hard for me to grasp. They know that. They know what this guy's been through. They know what he's done in his service to his country. I mean, I'm so grateful to live in the nation that I live in and enjoy the freedoms and the rights, not the maybes, the rights that I have because of folks like him. I mean, I'm so serious about it. I mean, look at me. I've dedicated my entire life to, you know, I came out of the gutter. You know, I was homeless. I was addicted to drugs, and I found a community and I embraced it. And I embrace it balls to the wall, ready to bug out at any minute for any reason, as long as it is in service of this country. And that's what he did. And I want you to see that. And I want you to see this face, because this is the person they did it to. Like, what is his origin story? He went and fought for what he believed in. And then as a military police officer, he didn't want to be a real cop because he didn't want to be in the thumbnail of one of these videos, because he has a conscience, because he cares, because he won't inflict evil onto other people, because he wants to hold the government accountable that he risked his life for.
Right.
That's his goddamn motherfucking right. He should be able to do it 6 ways to Sunday up and until the 37th of February without that being interrupted or questioned by anyone. And then now we're here today doing this stream because that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. They hadn't had their fun yet. There needed to be more. Because there's only 3 cops, he needed service, legitimate service, okay? And he made sure, because he's a smart guy, to double check the protection order to make sure that he was legally able to get services from the police. And I've read it too. It's very clear. For police services, to initiate a report, whatever, he can have contact with the police because there's usually 1 cop on a shift. So this is him doing exactly that. I mean, like, the fact that this happened is it's disgusting. You guys should be pissed.
I want to make a report, emergency report.
Okay. What do you want to report on?
Hold on. You ready to do the report?
What do you want to make a report on?
Are you ready to do the report?
Tell me what you want to make a report for.
But are you ready to do the report is what I'm asking.
Now, it's very important as to why Auditing Mabden is continuously saying, are you ready to do the report? Because if this cop's answer is, I'm not ready to do the report, I can't help you, then he's said that even in his police capacity that he can't engage in those services right now. So if Auditing Mabden was to remain, then he could be in violation of that order. So he wants to be very specific. He's approached him. So here's the thing. You see a cruiser at the gas station. You don't know which cop's sitting in it. You got 1 of 3. And you get out, oh, it's you. Okay. Are you ready to take my report? He wants it very clear that the officer is able to take that report.
Contact YSL, make your report, contact YSL.
YSO? I know what that is. Well, I need to make a report.
Okay, you violated protection order.
I need to make a report.
About what?
You say you're going to call Yakima Sheriffs, right? Call them then. Call them. So I got to make a report.
Yep.
Call them. I got to ask you a couple questions. Lower the window, please. Lower the window, please.
Now the chief says, you violated the protection order. You're under arrest. So he did it right. He sees that it's the officer that has the order. He says, "Are you ready to take the order?" The officer makes up his own rules. He says, "Oh, well, no, we're at the Yakima County Sheriff's Department will have to deal with whatever you got going on." They're an hour and a half from his home, their headquarters, an hour and a half. So whatever emergency he's dealing with, even though the protection order allows him to get service for those issues, he's being denied. The cop's just making up whatever rules in addition to this order that he wants. So he says, "Call the Yakima County Sheriff's Department." Cop says, "Okay." And now, because of the protection order, he still needs service. He disengages from that officer and now goes to the chief, his superior. And the chief's only response to that is, "You're getting arrested." So tell us what happened. How the sheriffs show up, and then what?
So before I tell you what happened, I just got to backtrack a little bit. The first time when the sheriffs came, as you saw, they were somewhat professional. You know, their demeanor was calm. They were talking to me. Everything was all right, and I was able to get out with no incident. But this second time around, it was a night and day difference. The complete opposite. So when I'm over there, I also called 911 and I explained to them what was going on, that I needed to file a police report and that I was being arrested because of a violation of protection order that the police had on me. But the protection order specifically stated that I could file a report. So apparently they were going to send somebody, but it wasn't to help me out. It was to help out Mabton PD. This time when Yakima sheriffs came, it was no questions asked. They just wanted me out, and they just started breaking my window. I was on the phone with Josh, and they pulled me out, manhandled me.
Through, if you can. So walk us through every event that happened. I know that once this video stops, you started calling me. I wasn't able to answer. So walk us through from the moment Sheriff's Department show up to being on the phone with me, the breaking of the window, what happens. Walk us through, because we weren't there. We don't have video of this.
All right.
The United States government told an honorably retired soldier that he wasn't able to exercise the First Amendment right that he bled for. So we can't see it. So we need you to walk us through it.
Yes, and I'm gonna foil that. I'm gonna get the body camera, so just stay tuned for that. But yeah, I was dragged out of my car. I was thrown on the floor. I was asking, why am I under arrest? What's going on?
Before that, auditing Madden. So you're sitting in your car. You see the sheriffs pull up. Give us everything from that point. From they show up, they get out of the car, hands are on tasers. I call Josh. I say this to Josh. They pull me out. However it happens, give us a play-by-play, because we can't see it because the government in your state are fucking sick fucks.
Yeah, well, it happened fast. Once Yakima got over there, it was quick. It was very quick. It wasn't like the last time. I was sitting in the car. I was waiting for Yakima to come. They showed up. They parked right behind my car, right? Another car comes, another Yakima sheriff's car comes, it parks right in front. So now I have a vehicle in the front, a vehicle in the back. I'm boxed in. Like I said, they didn't ask me any questions. They're telling me to get out. And I'm trying to tell them, wait, hold on. I'm the one that needs to file the report. They didn't want to hear it. They did not want to hear it. The one of the deputies, I have him on my channel, on my community post. His name's Sheriff or Deputy Gilbert Bazan. This guy, he just started breaking my window. He pulled me out. I was getting hit in the back. At one point, when they put me in the vehicle, Bazan, he put his hands around my neck and briefly choked me. And as soon as I said, "Hey, why you have your hands around my neck when I'm handcuffed?" he took his hands out. As soon as I said that, I was in one police vehicle that had cameras in it, right? They took me out of the vehicle that had cameras in it and put me in the vehicle that did not have cameras in it. What do you think about that? A vehicle that did not have cameras in it, so they can do whatever the hell they want to do to me in there. They did have a body camera on, but there's no cameras facing in the back. There's no dash cams
Hold on. I
facing
think we have
forward.
an answer to your question. Rock Doc and Little Bird says, "Don't blame the whole state. This is Yakima County." It's actually not. It's more than that. So it's the local police. It's Yakima County. It's a presiding judge in 2 different jurisdictions, and the attorney general has been sent a copy of this video. They've declined to do anything about it. So then Auditing Mapton says, well, why would they bring me out of a car with the camera into one without? Because it is the state of Washington. A tone has been set. A judge has said, you can violate him, and we know he's pretty good at him catching your violations, so we're going to make it illegal for him to film. But now it's not him filming, it's us filming. So let's just follow that. We've set a tone that we can violate his rights. Who's to stop us now? Certainly not the state of Washington. And I can tell you from my perspective, I'm sitting on the phone and I have this on speaker and I'm listening to what's happening. He's calm, cool as ever. At some points, he's laughing at them because the cop's like, oh, we're going to pull you out. And he was like, oh, well, yeah, I think he's probably thinking in his mind, it depends on how I'm feeling today. If you're going to remove me from this vehicle, even with the Crocs, you guys might be up for it. But he's being calm and they're smashing in the window. And then eventually you can hear him. We lost contact in the part where he said, why are you choking me? Why are you choking me? And then I couldn't hear anything anymore. They must have dragged him away. When that happened, I had already had Auditing Mapton's wife's phone number. So since it wasn't live and no one knew what was going on, it wouldn't have made much sense for me to go live and talk about something I couldn't show people. So I started making things happen. Auditing Mapton, his mother is a saint of a woman. I would fight for my country too. And I do fight for my country in my own sense, especially with mothers like that. You got to keep proud. She was in Puerto Rico and she was willing to, because he's from the Bronx, a New York boy. She was willing to come all the way home, but it would take her like 3 or 4 days to get there. She couldn't find out any information about bail bondsmen. So I started making phone calls. I got the name of a bail bondsman. I put him in touch with her. He wound up getting stuck there the night. He's and you're what, let out the following day?
The following day, correct? Yes, the following day.
Okay, so how much was your bond?
The first time, I think they were both about 1,000 and 2,000. The first time, I think it was 2,000. Second time, 1,000. So,
military benefits, I guess, like on an average, and you don't have to tell us, but can you give us a guesstimate of, like, he doesn't make a lot of money, folks, is my point. Like, what meager amount do you get for your service?
It's pretty much, if you look on the website base pay of what I don't know what an E6 makes, just the base pay, something like that, just enough to cover my rent and get a little bit of groceries and just have enough to get by. That's all I get from the military is not enough. It's not enough.
So what you got, you lost, and then paid for. So the money that you're receiving for your faithful service and the discharge of your duties to defend this Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, the money that you're receiving from that, you're now having to take that money, forgo your groceries, forgo your bills, and forgo your rent to pay the same government that you served to let you go. That sounds more like a ransom to me.
Absolutely. I also needed to pay to impound my car, take out my car. That was about almost $600 that I needed to spend also, that I could have used for my kids, for food, for clothes, for my mortgage, for my car, for all of that. And now they're taking it away from me. For what? Because I'm exposing the corruption. I'm just documenting because of what I went through. I don't want nobody else to go through what I went through. So I'm documenting my journey and I'll keep posting updates as they come.
Now, this guy is badass. I said, listen, Auditing Mapton, it keeps you to such a small area. We got to change the name, make it more global.
That's right.
And his response to me was, my work's not done yet. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, and I've been through some shit. I've been doing this for 5 years. I like to, at least in the eyes of like how long people have been doing it, I'm one of the OGs. And I've seen some shit, and there's some times where I've been scared to ground. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll let this settle for about a week. Not him. He's no, my that's what he said. My work's not done here. And he went right back out and actually got arrested that same day. It was pretty incredible. And now you are thinking about moving just because you're scared for your life.
Absolutely. For my life, my wife, my little babies, my kids. I even have a child that doesn't live with me. She's in New York City. I don't want her to come over here. I don't want my mom to come over here to visit me, to be around this mess, to be around this danger, to be around the stalking, to be around the baiting, to have me arrested when I'm the one that's providing. I don't want them to see that or go through that. I need to provide for my family. I need to keep them safe. I'm the head of the house. I gotta take care of them. So it's my job and my duty to also provide for them and to keep them safe and to raise them properly.
Now you're from what? The Bronx, right? One of the
The
boroughs?
Bronx and Brooklyn.
In Brooklyn. So Yankees fan.
Yeah, that's right. Yankees.
Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay?
It's all good, man. It's all love.
You know what? You know what? I gotta do this. Anyone here from Boston, put a 1. Fuck those Yankees. don't let that smile and his service and all that stuff dissuade you.
Man.
No, you know what I mean? Don't let that. They don't play this at Yankee Stadium. What?
Hey, man.
Come on, folks at home. I know you got it. There you go. We're almost there.
Okay.
Yankees don't say this.
All I
What?
gotta say is how many World Series we got, how many championships we got, how many you guys got.
Well, and then they say so. A funny story. My wife are from they're from California. My wife and my kids. So I didn't know not everyone knew this. When it gets to the Sweet Caroline, everyone goes bam, bam, bam. It's like a big thing. Even when you're out and the song plays, you'll be at a bar I'll be at a bar in some southern state. That'll go on. I'll just raise up and say, and people haven't. So they didn't know. They were looking at me like I'm retarded. Pretty much the same way the Yankees look at their roster and think they're actually going to win a pennant. And they didn't know. And so now, exactly, the bump, bump, bump. So I got to say, knowing that he's a Yankees fan now, I don't know if I would have covered this video. But
it's all love, man.
You're from the East Coast, man. You're from the next state over. And despite the rivalry that we've had for a long time, a lot of class in folks from New York, a lot of class. You're in Boston. I saw a guy at a Red Sox game, all decked out in Yankees gear. His kid was at his first ever baseball game, and that's a Yankees and Red Sox game. This is a big deal. And the father catches the ball and goes to give it to his kid, turns around and gives it to a different little boy that was all decked out in Red Sox gear. The point of the story is, regardless of where we're from or whatever rivalries we have, we can all agree that what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. And as a community, as a people, and for the greater good, we have to stand up for what is right. We have to say enough is enough. This is not acceptable. And if we allow this to happen to you, that means we will allow it to happen to us. And if he stands for this, we will then be forced to bend for that. And it is the will of the people that remains solvent. It is the will of the people that remains firm. If the people fear the government, there's tyranny. If the government fear the people, there is liberty. Okay. And people are always quoting, the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Too many patriots have watered that tree. It's time to get some accountability. And now you have this guy sitting here in front of you. You're looking at his face at home, and you didn't know him 6 years ago. And it's just as important that he didn't know you. But he never questioned the fact that the people he was fighting for, how many people does each person know? Maybe 50? Maybe they're close with 15? Now, how many people are in the United States of America? He fought equally as much for the outnumbered amount of strangers and were actually in his own family to serve, defend, and protect you, and to protect our way of democracy in this great republic. and now a police department who have appointed themselves a modern day Gestapo are violating him at will and at length. And when he catches it, they tell him that he can't film it, so they can violate him more. And when they tell him he can't film it, then they start to shut off their own body cams. And they're using this man as a punching bag. And not a one of us knew his name when he was geared up, ready to go into the shit for us. Well, I'll tell you one thing. We may only have a camera, we may only have our First Amendment right, but I'm geared up to make sure that people know this is happening, to make sure that people know accountability has to be had. And we don't operate like the cops, okay? We don't beat people, hurt people, threaten people, call people, harass people. We do our fighting from the courts through civil litigation. This is a U.S. Air Force K-9 Leo. Shout out to Ed Auditing Mapton.
Nice. Thank you for your service.
I am very perturbed and concerned that one day I'm going to see his name show up. Because I don't have his name in my phone as Auditing Mapton. I have his actual name in my phone. A lot of my friends, I'll put like, Auditing Erie County, Dan AEC, right? Auditing Mapton gave and bled for this country. He gets a first and a last name. Okay. That's what he gets. And the local municipalities are shitting all over it. It's time we stand up for this guy. It's a goddamn shame. And more power to you. I wouldn't be able to deal with this.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And then I just want to add also, yesterday I was in contact with the sergeant because he emailed me a letter, which I posted on my community board. You could check that out, of the determination of the stalking that Sullivan did, where he parked in front of my house. And obviously they're going to clear him, which they did. I wanted to make a police report also, and I've been trying to do a police report several times. I've called Yakima sheriffs. They tell me that Matson has to do it. I tried getting a hold of Matson. They don't want to do it. And I even have the text messages, and I'm going to post them up soon. In the text message, yeah, there you go. I have text messages that it says where I told the sergeant, hey, Sullivan said that I threatened to kill him. I never threatened to kill him. Never. He got a statement from the alleged spot where I was trespassed from, which was a coffee spot, where the person that wrote the statement said that I told him that I wanted to kill Sullivan, which is not true. At that location, there are security cameras with audio and visual that is always recording. And I told the sergeant, if that's the case, do your investigation, check out the cameras, and you will see that I did not say anything. Therefore, Sullivan is lying on the police reports. I want to make a police report about Sullivan lying, saying that I was threatening him. That's considered a felony threat. When you threaten to kill somebody, that's punishable by arrest. Why haven't they arrested me? I mean, I don't want to get arrested, but they know that it's BS.
Pettiness equals to criminality nowadays. And that's what we're at. And I'm going to tell you something. I was going to leave this out because I was going to do like this major update documentary style video. I was going to make it, and I'm going to, and upload it so Auditing Mapton can release it first. But this is all over one thing. Pettiness equals criminality. Mapton saw that Officer Sullivan was doing ride-alongs, which is normal to see at the police department. But Officer Sullivan was doing ride-alongs almost every day. Officer Sullivan was having long lunch hours with his ride-along. Turns out, Auditing Mapton found out that Officer Sullivan's ride-along was his girlfriend. He was hanging out with his girlfriend, wasting time, having these long lunch breaks, and he was like, we only got one cop on per shift. We only got 3 cops in this town. This violates your ride-along policy. Is she a ride-along? Is she a girlfriend? What is she? So the pettiness of how upset he was over that was the criminality. Now look at this. This is absolutely ridiculous. Now, keep in mind, this man filed a complaint against the police department. And this is what this letter says. Dear Christopher, we at the Mabden Police Department reviewed your call complaint for service about being harassed by a Mabden Police Department officer while you were at your home. We take all complaints and calls for serious service seriously. In this case, your complaint stated that an officer drove in front of your house, slowed, and stopped on the city street while you were outside of your house with your family. The officer was on patrol, as is expected of him, and driving on a City of Mabden-owned street. Since there was an active order in place and the order stated that you were not to record a particular officer, the officer used his city phone to record and to show that you were in violation of the court order as you began to record him currently. And on the day of the report, the officer is the protected person and you are listed as the respondent. Now, in this particular incident, you were at your residence. So it is the position of the Mabden Police Department administration that we will not pursue a charge of violating the order by you recording the officer since you are at your residence. We respect you and your family at your residence, and it is not appropriate for us to pursue any charge of the incident of you recording. So now the police are saying, hey, listen, we understand. Oh my God, like a somebody. Now this is really interesting. There's a restraining order. The cop is violating the restraining order that he took out. He's now showing up at his home and filming Auditing Mabden. And because Auditing Mabden had his cell phone to document, because he had his home security system going, listen, you know, you weren't supposed to film him. We're gonna let it go this time, but technically you were in violation of the order. He's making a complaint about them. They're turning down his complaint by saying that he broke the law because he had a home security system, and that home security system caught the police officer breaking the law. That's what the violation is. Not that he did anything wrong, but that he caught them doing something wrong. Let's continue to read this. I think Shakespeare worded this. It's just beautiful. We have since asked the officer that you earlier referenced to limit driving directly in front of your house. He, on limited occasion, will drive past your house because it is a city-owned street and there are several other houses in the area that we provide patrol for. We found no policy violation and no crime committed by the officer, and we will not pursue a charge again. And listen to this. We found no policy violation and no crime committed by the officer, and we will not pursue any charge against you for video recording.
Wow.
The officer will download the video to the case report, and if you do a public records request, we can provide the case and video to you. We also added your video to the case report. Thank you for bringing this concern to us, as we have properly addressed your complaint. This case is closed. I have 837 people in here that firmly disagree that this is anything but resolved.
Nope. And you heard it from them. If you're interested, you can FOIA request it. Public records.
That's like if this cop went nuts, kicked in your front door, shot you, you grabbed your phone, filmed him shooting you again, you're taken to the hospital, you file a complaint. And you say, listen, this officer broke the law, he busted in my front door, he shot me, all policy violations, all crimes. And then they said, listen, we're going to make sure to, and first of all, why would they say, we'll make sure he doesn't do that in the future? Because he did the wrong thing. They're not going to find that he did anything wrong, but they know he did the wrong thing. But then they say, listen, he broke into your house, he shot you. We didn't think he did anything wrong, and we're going to cut you a break. We're not going to arrest you for filming him committing a home invasion and shooting in the face. We're gonna do you solid.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you Auditing Mabden's channel. If you haven't went there and subscribed yet, stop being fucking lazy like me, okay? Because I'm lazy. This is his community page. Look at the stuff. 1.1 million views, 281K in the last 7 days. You know, he's getting a lot. A lot of people are starting to recognize what he's doing. I I like that. What does it say here in the about section? Police paparazzi?
That's
Where'd you get
right.
that from?
I got it from you, Josh. You already know, man. You already know. OG.
Oh man, we didn't know what to call like cop watching back when I started doing this, so I made up a term for it with Disorderly Product News. I called it police paparazzi.
I
But this
love
is
it.
channel 12.2K subscribers, pretty damn good for only 89 videos.
Mhm.
And you know what? Ooh, let me look what we got here. We have his PayPal and his Cash App. Look at that. PayPal.me/auditing Mapton, or Cash App is $auditing Mapton. Thanks, New England Truth. Please go over there, subscribe to the guy, because he doesn't have time to say hello to his loved ones after he gets released from jail. He's in the parking lot getting his property back and uploading the video that day. So you can follow along in his journey. Okay.
Mhm.
So please, paypal.me/auditing Mapton, or Cash App $auditing Mapton. That's the best way to support, because he's got legal battles coming up and he needs a lawyer to help fight those. We're in the process of helping him find someone that can first take care of the criminal case and then the civil case. But
That's
the
right.
best way you can support is to go over there, hit the like button. I'm going to play that video one more time I made for you. I'm going to read off some super chats. Let me make sure, see if anyone sent me any specific questions they have for you. It doesn't look like they did. Okay.
It's fine.
I'm going to go see if I can post that. Hold on one second. I want to post your PayPal in the comment section. Give people a while so they don't have to go find it. Thanks, guys, for bearing with me today. You guys are the best. Is that the right one? Yeah, there it is. Look at that, my man. All right. He likes the Yankees. I should have never had this guy. Oh, we're still rolling. My bad. Oh, Jesus. My bad. Yeah, I didn't mean that. Yes,
It's
I
all
did.
good, man.
Chat right now is Auditing Mapton's PayPal. PayPal.me/auditing Mapton. Please make sure you go check them out. Before we let you go, start doing some super chats and watch that beautiful video again. Anything that you want to say to the folks out there in YouTube?
Just keep following me. I'm gonna keep posting updates. The job's not done, as you heard Josh say, and all I need is the support, so I could keep moving forward and keep doing the right thing and holding them accountable. That's all I gotta say. Just already met and like, share, and subscribe. Later.
All right. Hey, listen, man. From a very proud American, I want to thank you for your service, for your sacrifice to this country and to this Constitution, to this republic. I apologize that you haven't received the assistance that you have from the country that you served. I apologize for the inactivity of government, who is actively failing you and is now allowing you to fight by yourself when you were willing to fight for them. I apologize that right now it's hard to pay rent, it's hard to pay bills, and I apologize that the very best I can give you was 1,100 people watching and some kind words, but I am not sorry that you're out there in the field right now. I'm not sorry for that, but because of that, a lot more people will be safe. And he's doing the same thing now that he did in the military. He's taken one for the team to make sure that the next American is a little bit safer. And he's happy to take that arrest so you don't have to. And that is what makes him who he is. And for that, we thank you, we salute you, and we appreciate your continued. You hear that, Mapton? I know you guys are watching. We appreciate your continued service.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. We'll catch you on the next one. All right, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Later. Bye.
All right, let's read some super chats. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me. It's been a first stream in like 2 months. Accountability Amplified member for 34 months. John Wesley gifted 5 Accountability for All memberships. Thank you, John. Let's OTVO teach our rights so the ignorant will know them. Flying Auditor, please share with Auditing Mapton. Will do, my man. Sincere, Patricia Fodor, when you write you're a criminal who got arrested, are you related to the officer or are you an officer? Well, that's an excellent question. Unisex, thanks for the help. Dash Freedom, appreciate it. New England Truth, keep up the great work. Guys, check out New England Truth. First person on the East Coast to pick up a camera. Fact. That is a fact. When I started doing this 5 years ago, he'd already been around for 4 years and he was starting to wind down and do his thing. Literally, this guy is one of the first to do it in the nation. Tyrone is a G. Out there doing this just as long as Gavin Syme, if you've been around this community for a long time, that's the type of dude that we're talking. He was posting videos for John Felix, ever went viral, and John's a great dude too. So check out New England Truth. Guy's a serious force. Hawk fan, like some bullshit. It was, my man. John Wesley, Lawfare. Green Girl, sending money to Auditing Mapton. Thank you so much. New England Truth again. Newer sub, I will support your channel. I'm a Yankee fan. Sorry, AFA. Okay. Remember all that nice shit I just said about New England Truth? Yeah, we're going to have to forget that was said. Can't believe you used the word New York Yankees. Listen, this community has embraced me and taken me from the very lowest I've ever been. And he needs that help. This community was very small when I started. You know, you could count the activists on one hand, maybe 1.5 hands at most. We all had each other's phone numbers. We still do to this day. And we got things done. And this community has got a little watered down, to be perfectly honest. It's got diluted, you know, and that needs to stop. I went from being, you know, addicted and living under bridges, and now we got a house. I have this beautiful audience. We have a little baby girl coming in September. I have kids whom I love and adore that I'm so proud of. You know, my name's in case law. It's been a wild ride. And the biggest part of it is, you know, thank you, Uneasy Rider. I never thought anyone would care what I had to say. I never posted a video because I thought it would go viral on YouTube. I was too lazy to upload the video and then send it to people by email. And my buddy was like, hey, just put it on YouTube and then you can send us the link. And I was like, okay. And it turned into something. This community embraced me and it's changed quite a bit. You know, it's take it how you want it. It's got real watered down. And some of the people that, you know, like to consider themselves, you know, real fans and real activist supporters. They're there for a comment and a viral video, and that's where the support ends. You know, we need to rewind and remember activists like New England Truth and, you know, Freeman and Gavin Syme, Joshua Martinez. Gavin Syme went so hard in this thing that he was forced to live in another country. And he found asylum in Mexico, of all places. Mexico said, the government is so dangerous to you, you'd be safer here and we'll take you in. Josh Martinez, good buddy of mine, hemmed up by the courts for free speech. You know, these are the people that set the tone, and some of them can't be here to talk about it. Now, we've lost a lot of good people that fought for this community, whether it be to jail or whether it be to death. Disorderly Product News, his first video was with me, and I got the call the day of to let me know that he had passed. And we need your help. We need your help. We got to where we are because of fine folks like you. That's how we got here. Eric Brandt also. Eric Brandt, the first time I think a cop has ever stopped another cop from doing something wrong wasn't one of Eric Brandt's videos, and now he's doing 12 years. And it looks like the federal government's going to try and hem him up even longer. You know, we had a strong community, and I know we still got it. I know it's still out there. I need you guys to step up. Start watching everyone's videos, start commenting, you know, start really, I mean, listen, even my tagline, that's the reason I stopped you today. I got that from Gavin Syme when he started giving cops tickets. We can be that again. just by support and watching videos. Because auditing Mabton needs you now like I needed you back then. So before we get out of here, love you guys. When I say be an activist, we need you involved. I mean, start watching people's videos, comment, create Facebook groups, create Facebook pages, start sharing videos, become an activist yourself, start spreading the word, start getting involved. When someone needs help, send them a couple bucks. He wasn't asking for much when he was eating shit candy bars in another country. So again, this is the person who needs your support. I don't think that's asking a lot. And with everything he's done, and if you were to step up and support him, well, that'd be something to be proud of.
We were kings which raised dirt floor poor. Of course, that was back before the war. Yeah, your uncle and I made quite a pair, flying F-15s through hostile air. He went down, but they missed me by. He'd always stop right there and say, "That's something to be proud of. That's a life you can hang your hat on. That's a chin held high, the tear fall down. Guts up deep, just up out like a small town flag a flying, or a newborn baby crying in the arms of the woman that you love. That's something to be proud of." Dad, I wonder if I ever let you down. You're ashamed how I turned out. Well, he lowered his voice, then he raised his brow. Said, "Let me tell you right now. That's something to be proud of. That's a life you can hang your hat on. You don't need to make a million. Just be thankful to be working. If you're doing what you're able, put you there on the table. Everybody for the family that you love. That's something to be proud of. Ain't all you ever really do is the best you can. Well, you did it, man.
He needs your support. I'm here because a long time ago, people gave me what I needed. They stuck with me through thick and thin, hell and high water. And now I know Accountability Amplified is watching. To quote a show that we both watched, you have to go through hell and high water. And now I am both the hell and the high water. And what I needed then, he needs now. And you guys can help him. And give me support. Make sure you hit the like button, set the notification bell to always share his videos whenever you can. Because if you do, it's something to be proud of. That's the reason I stopped you today.